Alright you guys, take it you got your 3mm Depron foam with your MIG-29 Ultra Micro, which will be using the Micro Stryker parts and electronics. So let's get started here. First we'll take and cut off this excess foam. I already taped the plans down on the sheet. Make it a little easier to work with here. It'll be the same cutouts as the Micro 29 for the Ultra Micro P51. So again, we'll start by cutting out our prop. Just a simple straight cut. Now I'll take and put a 45 on the back side, same as the other build video. You'll notice all my builds are pretty much the same, whether they're 70mm EDFs or just these little ones. Here we got our cutout for our prop. Now we're going to take and cut out the main airframe. And on all your leading edges, again, make sure you do a 45 toward the front of the plane. I'm going to do a slight little curve on this, maybe a little less than a 45 on your nose, which I'm just going to freehand it. Now it's all straight cuts back here. And let's 45 the tail. Again, it's all the same cuts from the other Micro MIG P51 parts. I put a 45 on all my leading edges. Now let's go ahead and do all our straight cuts. That should be it for the main fuselage. Got one more. saw. Forgot the sides. Both of them. There we go. We cut out our prop. We cut out our main body. Now on this plans, you want to take and put a we're going to take and put a little dihedral in this one. So I'm going to take and cut halfway through the foam. Give it a little split. Alright, so once you got your slice there, all we're going to do is give it a little dihedral upward. Not much. Basically what the slice is there, once you glue it, it'll go back to the dihedral you're going to want. So let's take a little CA foam, safe glue. Usually once I cut the dihedral, just run my finger down that line, get the excess glue in there nice. As you can see, I always do all my cutting on carpet. Alright, let's take and put some tape on there. Like I said, just you want it to bend up. Don't want to force it, just close up that gap that you cut with your straight blade. There you go. Got a little dihedral in the plane. Alright, so moving on. Next step, go ahead and cut off your aileron, just like in the last video. Go ahead and mark it on your plane. Again, I just marked the very edges. You can just take this aileron and flip it right over to the other side. They're both identical. Go ahead and match it up to your foam. And then just mark the edges of it. Alright. Go ahead and fill that in. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and 45 those ailerons. So here's the front of your plane. Put your ruler and cut toward the front of the plane. Same on both sides. I'll go back and just straight cut these edges. Alright, now we're going to tape on those ailerons. Oh, actually, alright, now you can see where your 45 cuts were. Now you just want to take both these pieces and just line it up there. You're taking off that little excess 45 cut and back cutting the 45. Just line this up where we want it. We got our aileron. Same thing with this piece. Take where you cut your 45 and just back cut it. Alright, there you got your ailerons. We got our little dihedral. Right. Moving on, we'll take and cut out the KF airfoil. Alright. Just cutting both of our KF airfoils out of each side. Now we'll go back over here to our sheet of foam. Just take and simply mark the edges. Come in with our ruler, trace them out. Again, these are both the pieces for the KF airfoil. And then with a razor knife, again, you want a 45 toward the front of the plane. And straight cut the back of your KF airfoils. Straight cut here. And if you have to, you can line this up on there and make sure you're making your angle cut the right way. So, I want a 45 like this. You want both pieces to be a mirror image of each other. Now just your straight cuts. We've got both of our KF airfoil pieces. Go ahead and cut the nose out. Again, this is all just straight cuts for the bottom of the canopy. I'll go ahead and just freehand the top. Go ahead and leave that piece on for now, because you're going to trim it back when you install your motor. There's your canopy. I always use hot glue on these. Seems to work the best. You're guaranteed it's never going to break in that spot. We have our dihedral. Take and cut off the excess, the KF airfoil. I'm not taking my time here, I'm just trying to get this video as short as possible, because I know there's probably going to be a part 2. Alright, now we'll take and cut off one of our rear elevators. This elevator has a thrust vectoring system. Alright, so again, just line it up over your first cut you made. So, trace out all your corners. And just flip it over and do the same thing. It's the exact same piece. Oh, my glue wasn't done drying. I got super glue on the pen. Let's try this again. Sorry guys, kind of slow and sloppy today. Head cold. Let's trace out our pieces. My glue wasn't done setting up, so my glue keeps getting on my pen. Oh well, we'll roll with it. Alright. These are two separate pieces here. What you want to do is get in here and cut out these first. Just going to freehand some of this stuff. There we go. Now you got to do your 45 on the front of your elevators. Always make sure it's a 45. Again, another 45 cut. You want to stop right in the middle there. Back cut 45 on that piece. 45 it. Alright, now we want to back cut those 45s. Alright, attach these on here using some Scotch tape. We'll cut it out in a minute to make clearance. First I just get it put together. Alright. So again, you just cut out little pieces for some clearance in here. Alright, now you want to go ahead and add a piece of tape to that right there. Take and cut some of it off. Go ahead and add some tape there. And back cut right here. Alright, so there we have our elevators. So we got a little rubbing. Go back in there and cut out a little bit of it. Very good. Alright, moving on. Take and cut out our rudders. Our vertical tail fins. Again, just straight cut. On the top. You're going to want a 45 at the bottom. I'm just taking freehand the rest.